Okay, so what do you think about the government owing the public sector workers?
The government should pay up because public sector workers are hard workers, especially nurses and teachers and police officers.
So you think if they aren't paid properly, that can actually affect the quality of their work?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So you think they should bring the state to court or protest about it and some justice can be served?
Well, if the government not pay, best them carry my court for true.
When I'm jumping in my hometown, go on! Go!
Okay, the government in that debt, but you think that being that the government is in that debt, I don't know if owing the public sector workers, you think the government's bank up Jamaica while they are, in that, whole pothole in that debt?
Yes.
Okay, so if just the other day we see where the government pay has been raised and the ministers, you think that it is unfair to raise your pay and you owe the public sector workers?
Yes, it is very unfair. It is very unfair because how can the government get so much pay and Jamaica people is suffering? Yeah, and Jamaica people is suffering.
Okay,
it's not fair.
So you think each of those ministers should actually take something off of their pay to put towards paying?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, so do you think that this issue can actually affect the government this coming election, being that the public sector workers will say, well, they owe us and they have not paid us up, we ain't going to vote for them, or we're not going to give them the support this election? You think that can affect them this election?
Yes, it can affect them very much. So they should pay public sectors.
Okay, so what would you say, to the government, if you were sending a message to them or telling them something, concerning about, owing the public sector workers? What do you say to them?
Them should pay public sector workers. They are important people to the country in every aspect, so they should pay up.
Okay, thank you for your opinion.
Okay.
I don't care about rich people, but I don't come and touch people. My sister, one, I come back in a
Yeah, so good morning, woman.
Good morning.
Let's ask you a simple question. Can your boss owe you?
No.
Why you would say no?
No, because I do something for him, so I think he should pay me. Yes.
Okay. What do you think about the government owing the public sector workers?
I think he should pay them. I think government should pay them because they work very hard, right? And they deserve every single thing that they're supposed to get.
What do you think would happen or can happen if they're underpaid and they're not satisfied with their...
They're not going to put out the quality service that they would put out if they are getting paid.
So you think this is what, because this is what affecting some of the establishment, like the Jubilee Hospital, where nurses are not, paying, like giving the effort that they should regarding to pregnant mothers, and they're not working as how they should because they're underpaid.
I think that I'm not saying that they're not working because they're underpaid. Probably they are just tired or a thing like that. But government should pay them so that they can put out the best because they are getting what they're supposed to get.
Okay, do you think the government bankrupt Jamaica why they actually owe the public sector workers?
Well, I don't really know what is happening, but I think that they should find somewhere somehow to pay them.
Okay, you think they should, public sector workers should protest, bring the state to court or anything like that to get some justice?
I think they should or they can bring them to court, but to protest and because they still have to work.
Yeah.
Yes, so they can just do what they can do in a modest way.
You think it's fair for government to be raising their pay, the Prime Minister's pay, the Minister's pay, and still owe the public workers?
No, I think no.
So you think that each of those minister and the Prime Minister can take something from their pay to contribute to paying public sector workers?
Yes, but let everybody feel good.
Okay. Alright, so do you think that this will affect the government at the next upcoming election, being that they owe the public sector workers? Do you think the public sector workers will take this into consideration and not give this government the support?
Yes, I think it can. Yes, I think it can.
Okay. Alright, what would you say to the government about, this issue?
Mr. PM, just take care of the people and they will take care of you.
Okay, mommy, thank you for your honest opinion.
You're welcome.
So yeah, bad boss, General there, and I have a lot of advice today. I make you hear what's going on. Yeah. So yeah, me General, as a man, as a provider, as a leader, as a conqueror, under what control you feel like you have the power to direct the affairs of a relationship?
Under what? Repeat that.
Under what condition do you feel like say you have the power to direct a relationship? Okay, so what the biggest sacrifice you ever make for your man?
See how biggest, sir? Me always help out people.
Always help out people?
Yeah.
Alright, so if a man invest in you as a woman, you don't think say him own you, I feel something because I'm investing in you?
Say own me?
Yeah, I feel something because I'm investing in you.
Yeah, because if you're dedicated, alright, if a man sort you out the right and proper way, and he might look after you, you don't have a problem to cheat on him.
Alright, so can another, what if your man they don't town you, and your man receive a little call and it seems suspicious? Like it's business Like when if your man they don't town one of the day and he get a little suspicious call and it seems like it's from him ex or a female way, and he might look certain.
Man, may I be honest, when I see relationships there right now, female them will say they more or them agree with equality in a relationship, but in reality there is not really any equality for the males in a relationship. That's what me feel like.
Okay, so you're independent?
Yeah, I'm independent. We can't deal with it. We can't deal with it right now.
Alright, so under what condition you feel a man have the power to control a relationship?
Well, the one that will sit down in them yard and don't want to work, but I'm a working class. For me, I'm 15-year-old, me I work.
So a man can't control a relationship with the provider?
No, them can't control me.
So what if I'm the provider? What if I'm the provider?
Boy, my provider, then I provide.
If you are the main provider still in a relationship, you feel like you're supposed to have certain talk, or the majority of the talk?
Well, I feel like you're supposed to have a certain level of talking. Because you're the person where I bring in the main source of income or whatsoever. So if you can voice your opinion on what you want to do with the funds or whatever you bring in the relationship, I don't really see it.
What's the biggest sacrifice you ever make for a female?
Biggest sacrifice?
How much you ever spend?
Oh, you talk money?
Yeah, man.
Besides that, no, what I said time, because time is my biggest sacrifice somebody can give for anybody. But money wise, what I say? Honestly, I don't even know, but if I find out, I would keep that incognito.
So alright, so say once you spend on something, you see?
Yeah.
Whether you spend it like in different fractions, like you pay a piece this time, you pay a piece this time, you pay half, or you pay cheaper there. Or you pay a whole lot. You feel what you're investing in something or you're spending on something, you feel like you're supposed to automatically own it. So if you are pay upon a female, you feel like automatically the something is yours.
Because sometimes I do good and you hurt the feelings and everybody can cope with certain things.
Oh, so what would be your advice to a man right now in a relationship where you want to give trouble and just feel to end our life and end team life?
No sir, I don't feel so. I prefer them separate.
So what you think about an unfair female?
No, no.
Yours if it good, you feel like yours.
Whereas if it good?
Yeah.
No, honestly no. No, I'm not gonna feel like. Then you can go on with her and done.
So you make it go like that?
Make it go like that.
Emotional and anything there.
I mean it depends how deep in it still.
Alright, suppose your woman get a suspicious call. Or you don't angle that. When a call with kind of sound, you know?
Boy.
Right in front of you.
Right in front of me?
You and I go at the mall and she get all the calls. She get all the call and when you hear some big up, it's a man voice and she, you a little suspicious look like she hide something going there.
Yeah man, the country would have to dark up at the same time there. Dark up. place we have to dark up.
So what would you say about the police guy that shot his teacher girlfriend?
I don't agree with that at all, man. Shot. No, sir.
The place will get hot up.
No, man, the place can get dark in
How
about
dark?
dark to a certain point, say. That can get loud.
Alright, so what do you think about what he did though?
No, I don't feel say should have kill her.
So, like, put him in.
No, he's not supposed to kill her.
Alright, so who is more abusive in a relationship? A man physically hitting a woman or a woman?
No.
So when you abuse him emotionally, that's not bad?
Eh? That's so bad. To me, boy, I don't know. It's vice versa, you know, everything.
Could have get loud. No, sir, not that type of loud, man, but vocally, not with a object of destruction.
So who that more abusive? Okay, so if you get loud then, so you think that a man abusing a woman physically is more louder than a woman emotionally abusing a man?
Repeat that?
You think, say, a man physically, putting his hand on a female is more abusive than a female emotionally and mentally abusing a man?
I mean, nothing physical, not good enough, cause even though emotionally, it can mess with somebody's mind, even if them are go through something already, and that woman they put more upon them brain in a negative way. I don't think it is a good thing, but physically, I feel physically worse, cause in honesty, I don't think nobody's supposed to put them on nobody else in no way for hurt them.
Yeah.
So I say physically would have worse, but
alright. What you think about woman loving man in uniform?
Loving man in uniform, like, them
like
work.
Them eyes are run to soldiers and police, them saying a uniform.
No, sorry. I don't agree with that. If you want soldier, you have to keep it professional, you have to do in a uniform or when you're in a uniform. Okay. So, alright. We often hear, police always, commit act like this, like the latest one is this one with the young guy, and the teacher girl. But in a few years time apart, things happen like that. So do you think that on recruiting officers, they should be they should test how far their emotions can be pushed without them being very reactive? So for instance, like when they come under such pressures like that pressure that guy came under. Yeah. If they're not already doing that, I mean, I would like to know how they would implement doing that without causing lasting damage emotionally and mentally to the recruit.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, better yet, do you think that alright? Say, from a time to time basis, that there should be, evaluation done on the officers to see if they're all well, emotionally and mentally and physically, and try to investigate more in their family life to see if they are okay. Not just sending them out on the road. Most times they're out on the road abusing. You don't know if them have even problem like this young guy, his girl giving him problem and he just want to take it out on somebody on the street. So I think say on a regular basis they should do some evaluations on the officers, what they are doing mentally and emotionally and so on.
Yeah, man, of course, cause even if them implement something like that, a whole heap of guys and stuff I go through stuff mentally, and if them just have somebody who can come to you and say, yo, everything good, everything alright, and can check on them and so constantly. Yeah. I think it's a healthy thing to implement.
So what's your advice right now for a man who have go through it hard in a relationship and he think to any female life and any life, and think say, yo, this will just bring everything to a solution. This is the solution to just cool everything.
The uniform thing that work with you.
So you say uniform guy them.
We don't really deal with them.
For instance, do you think that when they force a recruit, the new recruit them, or you think on a regular basis them to do some emotional evaluation on the officers them and see if them life alright and if they are okay before them go out there in the streets. Yeah, so that they know take out them problem from people.
Same so. They're supposed to do that.
See they should do that.
Yeah.
Alright, thanks for your information.
Yeah, okay. Alright.
I don't think taking nobody's life for something for over cheating or even anything at all is worth it. Take a life is a serious thing that
Yeah. So what you think about what's your advice to the unfair females in relationships?
I have to go straighten up because if a man can help them or explain to her, talk to them or come to them, I don't know who can, probably God alone, but I don't know.
That is a man too, Yeah, but I'm not going to say that, them. God is a man too,
God is a spirit.
Well, it's a man spirit. Yeah. What do you think about that? God is a man. That's how he has been depicted.
I mean, if him can...
relationship, you know?
Unfair.
Cheat and she very general and them thing there.
Boy, we don't like that. We don't like it.
You don't like that?
No.
Alright, so you like man in a uniform, you know?
We don't really, you know.
Why? Why
I
not
don't know.
really?
We don't really like it. We don't really like it. Me like a man just ordinary and straight with me. We can't bother.
If him can't help them, then I don't know what else to do.
Okay, alright. Thank you for your information.
No problem.
Yeah, him looks suspicious.
We don't worry my tongue.
Yeah.
We don't worry my tongue. Me wait till we go home.
Alright, so what about the young lady and the young man, the police guy and the teacher girl where him and her they down a town here
Yeah.
and she receive a little call and when them go in, boy, something go on and him get emotional and him shoot her and shot himself but he didn't die. So what do you think about that?
Well, why it must be something else different? Cause it can't just that simple little phone call.
You say something more than the
More than that. It's a bigger thing than that.
Hot Water Channel, straight to the max. Bring the thing to the people them. Original generous people. Same way.
Man, big up Hot Water Channel, enough ice cream. Yeah, man.